For the first time in seemingly forever, Pizzapants will get to leave early. He'd been scheduled for less than 12 hours tonight on a busy Friday evening. It didn't help that Icy's Pizza was the only place to go for fun besides the nearby diner. He couldn't contain his excitement. He had to reserve this 8-hour time shift months in advance and had to fight someone for it. Almost got pretty bloody. Even with this lax time shift, he had to do double duty on opening the store, cleaning the lobby, prepping the kitchen for early lunch rush, 2 p.m. mealtime rush, early dinner and late dinner rushes. For the first time, however, he actually got some pep in his step. It's amazing how many rushes they have in the store despite not having any customers ever, apparently. It's a really impressive business model. For the first time, however, he actually had some pep in his step. Everyone was impressed. No one knew why this cat had such a change in work ethic, but he sure did. Tonight, he was not only hanging out with Asriel, the coolest goat this side of the Eastern Sea. They don't call it the Atlantic Ocean in Deltarune, it's the Eastern Sea. But this time was just going to be him and Asriel at the Dreamer residence. Oh, but it was just going to be him and Asriel. Hell yeah, hanging out with the not boyfriend at the not boyfriend's mom's house. He would have scoffed at it then, but some would say that he was going on a second base date. Ignoring the obvious caffeine overdose he was experiencing from 4 back-to-back human energy drinks. That's the brand name, not the, it's human brand, you know? When gay sex sane? Asks chat. Unfortunately, gay sex is banned in this in the gay sex fanfictions. I mean the gay fanfictions. There's no sex. But I don't know. Some people have gotten pretty close. That doesn't seem to bother anyone. One of the fics last stream was just like Asriel licking a cut on Burger Pants' arm for 5 solid minutes or something. It was somehow way worse than just gay sex. Boo, no gay sex. Yeah, I know. Just let me read the fic, man. By the way, Andrew announced that YeekCord is doing the Pride Month art contest. Oh fuck, yeah, apparently Outsend's like the insider with the Yeek Discord server, and they're doing well, you know, you heard it, it's a Pride Month art contest where you're supposed to draw gay ship art of Yeek or something. Despite the fact that the only hint of a gay relationship in that game was like Alex awkwardly trying to kiss someone who obviously wasn't into him, and then it was never talked about again, which is really funny to me. So I guess, yep, there's your excuse to draw Alex x Rory, if you didn't have one before. You can't believe they're still updating that game? Well, they're not just updating it, they're fucking like remaking it basically with the 1.5 update from my understanding. That's like an overhaul, full game overhaul. Yes, the caffeine overdose. Pizzapants endured Icy's personal circle of hell. Asriel told Pizzapants on the phone that he was picking him up around 8ish when he got off around 7:30. Pizzapants took the 215s he was legally obligated to have, that he was legally obligated to have, that he saved up for this moment. A 15. Am I stupid that I don't know what that refers to? I'll roll with it. Pizza stones and bricks and cardboard boxes were being thrown left and... Oh, the 15-minute break. I gotcha. I did work at McDonald's. I do know what a 15 is, actually, yeah. That's always the worst vibe, too. Like when you get to the end of a shift and you have a break that you haven't taken because it was a stupid busy day, and you have to go to like your sweating, deranged manager who's just struggling to survive and say like, I am legally obligated to fuck off 15 minutes early, and they just look at you like you're a stain they have to wipe off the floor. That's a great vibe. I will say McDonald's was very good at giving you your legally mandated breaks. Anything that was legally mandated, they were up to snuff. McDonald's is very good at not getting sued by the government or whatever. But Icy's obviously is a different vibe. The 15-minute licking break. Maybe in Canada, it's a whole story. I don't know about not Canada McDonald's. I've never been to a McDonald's in not Canada. Am I Serbian? Important question. I'm not Serbian, no. We're being thrown left and right as the temperature reached 38 degrees Celsius. You specified it in Celsius. Interesting. While Pizzapants shuffled outside the back for a couple USA gold coffin nails to spread out the time and ease his heart palpitations. Is that a cigarette? I'm assuming that's a really fancy way of referring to a cigarette. Also, holy fuck, 38 Celsius is hot, by the way. That's a real brand. Okay, cool. Really shitty. Well, I wouldn't expect any different. Just before closing the door, a large blue brick of a monster known only as can I do the Horaloo voice? Warrior! While barking gibberish orders at his underlings, gave Pizzapants the stinkiest stink eye known to human and monster kind. Mainly because he saved up his brakes, but also he was braking while shit was hitting the fan. The dining room was hitting building capacity at this point, and it was all due to one thing: high school graduation. Oh, people do go in the restaurant. That's hard to picture. 38 Celsius isn't that hot, Andy in chat. Great. Lives on the surface of the sun. I'm pretty sure 38 Celsius is like around the point where you can no longer cool yourself adequately via radiant heat or something, and you will just inevitably die if you don't get to shade. It's not that hot though. I've been to hotter places. I've been to the one desert in Iran where it's nothing but black volcanic rock, and it's hot enough to melt your shoes and your phone, and nothing lives there, and it's the surface of Mars. Iranian Andy. Nice vacation, yeah. In Iran? Maybe it was Iraq. There was some video of a dude going up there in like a jeep, and he had these guides with him, and they're all like, "You're gonna fucking die, man. Like, how long do you have to film? You have 1 hour before you die." And they're like, "We'll be back in 1 hour to get you before you die. Have fun." And then they're just wandering around this endless plain of rocks and sand with like trying to measure temperatures, and their thermometers are melting in their hands, and nothing works, and they're just like, it looked like a good time. Anyway. Did you hear about the London building that literally melted buildings at over 100 degrees? That was the one that was accidentally a parabolic reflector, right? I think it melted car tires mostly. There was like if you parked in a particular spot on the street, the giant death ray building would reflect the sun at you and melt the car. Sounds like a lawsuit. Probably. Alright, where was I? Not only was today a late night bro date, is that what they call it in the biz, but it was also Asriel's graduation. In just a couple weeks, he'll be packing up and moving on campus to a top university with a full ride scholarship. You'd think only dweebs would be able to do this, but Asriel's different. He'd cut up and hang out with the others just before heading back home to study until 10 a.m. Until 10 a.m.? Jesus Christ. School starts before 10 a.m. Pants didn't desire to be as much of a Renaissance man as he is, but he couldn't help but be enamored by his abilities. He felt that even having half of his talents would allow him to get out of the smelly pizza gig. He would be envious, but there was something about that popular goat boy that he couldn't put a finger on. Asriel built differently. Is that a meme? Is that like an evolution of the built different meme, is to use actually correct grammar? Because it sounds really weird when you use correct grammar. Built differently. Oh, he'll put a finger on him, all right. Yeah. I think I know exactly what that something he's talking about is. Pizzapants leaned on the wall for a few moments to de-stress before walking over to a curb to sit on. He dug into his pocket pouch for a crumpled-up cigarette box and pulled out an orange-filtered cigarette. He tried to light it with his Bic lighter, but couldn't. Click, click, click. The disposable lighter still had some liquid in it, but he couldn't catch, so to speak. It just couldn't catch, okay. Pizzapants started freaking out a bit. He couldn't hold off having a nicotine break at this moment. He just spent what felt like 9 years in Icy's ever so cheesy ninth ring of Hail just to be able to have free time for once. Come on, this damn thing, he said as he started shaking the Bic. In a fit of frustration, he threw the lighter on the pavement. Suddenly, there was a strike of a match. Held in front of Pizzapants was a lit match being held by Asriel Dreamer, with a cap, a dress shirt, slacks, a folded down, and a gown folded on his shoulder. Whoa. By a folded gown, are you referring to those things that you wear in like graduation ceremonies? Yeah, the cap and gown. It's like the high school graduate uniform, right? Yeah, it's not a wedding gown is what I was getting at. Better smoking pros than the Rum Diary 10 out of 10? I believe Remnant used to be a smoker, so that's how you get the good smoking pros. That's experience. Buddy, what's up, man? Smiled Pants before he lit a cigarette, startled just a tad bit. I'm doing pretty damn good, if I say so myself. I've decided that the British Asriel voice was the best one against all odds that I actually came up with last stream. So we're just gonna stick with that. Taking a 5th break today. Pants took a long and hard drag from his cigarette. Nah, this is my only one today, he said while exhaling a cloud of nicotine in relief. Asriel was confused by this. He knew Pizzapants as the model slacker, taking just an extra few minutes of phone time and making sure the boss didn't see him pay a couple rounds of Galaga or South Park pinball during the long downtimes between meals. Only one today? Did they finally catch you? Asriel laughed. He suddenly stopped. He knew the reason why he was so eager to work through the day, but mentioning it now in front of Asriel would just be weird, like worse than spilling marinara on his work trousers. The fact that Pizzapants really wanted to see Asriel. His time in town was nearing its end as the summer blazed through from May to August, the beginning of university. Didn't help that Asriel vouched for moving in early, then that Pizzapants had a fully booked summer of working 60 hours a week with an overtime rate of an extra $350. Tonight will be the last time I'll get to see Asriel for a long while. Jonathan Joestar sounding ass? Yeah, by which you mean number 1 from Kids Next Door sounding ass. Because it's the same fucking voice actor. Oh wait, Jonathan Joestar. No, that's a different guy. I don't even know what Jonathan sounds like in the dub. It's been 400 years since I've watched Phantom Blood. And I never watched the dub anyway. I just saw a lot of hot girls buying pizza today. An hour looker, as I call it. I didn't want to look like a slacker in front of them, you know. Scummy response, but it'll get him out of this jam, hopefully. Oh, those might be distant relatives. Which one was the hottest, dude? Asriel, what do you mean? Asriel was intrigued, leaning closer to him. Went Pants, filling up the air with as much filler noise as one can muster while still trying to bullshit a response. He took a drag and searched within his soul for an answer. A goat, he blurted out. A goat-like monster? I hope you're not talking about... No, I'm not talking about, what's their face? Defended Pants. It's a different goat monster. He tried to hide a blush, but decided to use it as a response to thinking about his supposed real goat monster lady. She was such a looker, man. Didn't get her digits, though. Who's what's-their-face? All I can think of is Toriel's mom, or, I was gonna say Toriel's mom. Asriel's mom, Toriel, but... seems to be a different implication. Her name was Azriel or something. An imagined distant relative. Is that more or less awkward than just saying your mom is hot? Like, your second cousin from Detroit is really hot. Just kind of a weird vibe, I don't know. Asriel couldn't help but smile at all this. He knew he was in good company. When are you off? He asked. After this break, Pants said while pulling a wicked grin. Well, hell yeah! Asriel exclaimed in delight. He was just in time. Asriel had already had dinner celebrated with the family before coming, so now was the time to go see some friends. Want to go to the lake for a bonfire with everyone? He asked. All the grads were planning on having a party there, as per high school graduation traditions. There was bound to be at least one bottle of Fireball and a few buds of Reef Monster Nip, sourced from someone who could be Susie's caretaker. Interesting. The bottle of Fireball is an interesting note. All far from the praying eyes of concerned killjoy parents and civil citizens. I think that's a typo, but it actually makes sense. Fireball sucks, but I drank it in high school. Yeah, I get the vibe. I'm saying vibe too much this stream. I should stop saying vibe. I think I've had a shot of Fireball, but it was a randomized shot. It was like some sort of like nerdy gamer bar where like you'd roll a d20 and they'd give you a shot based on the number. I think one of them was Fireball. Of course, if you roll the nat 1, you just get tequila with Tabasco sauce floating on top. I did experience that at least once. Keep saying vibe, reach out to the Zoomers. I am a Zoomer. I'm not sure who there is to reach out to at this point. Now, this was a bonus if there ever was one. Pizzapants can only stand crowds with Asriel by his side. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Do I look like I'd say no? Finally, the long workday was over. It was time for the real day to begin. Yes, become a member of the Midnight Crew, Pizzapants. Reach out to the 40-year-old demographics. What a 40-year-old's like? Star Wars? I don't know. Laughing so hard right now, says chat. Cool. Nah, you old as hell. I'm like an old Zoomer. I'm not even old enough to be a millennial like Alex Yeek. Actually, is Asriel even... not Asriel. Alex. Is Alex even young enough to be a millennial? He seems pretty fucking... He's like 25 and 99. He's Gen X, yeah. Fuck Alex. Alex is 50 now. That's fucked up. God, that's fucked up, man. Alex is a boomer. Alex is from the silent generation. Fun fact, Hiro Omori is 42. Jesus Christ. Okay, fanfic. It was around 11 o'clock when all the grads began to dance around the campfire in jovial celebration and intoxication. Much conversation about and good vibes. Oh, fuck, this fic is sabotaging me. Surrounded the youth. It was infectious. Even the high-strung, pizza-stained cat could help but feel warm. That could have just been the shitty wine coolers he sunk just to be able to hold conversation. Shitty wine coolers. I'm not sure I've ever encountered a wine cooler, actually. I'm not totally sure what that would be. But I'm sure Pizzapants would drink them. Nevertheless, it was all a good time. However, Asriel had just phoned Toriel, announcing his planned return home. Toriel was nearly passed out while taking the call, but was pleased to hear her son celebrating responsibly. Ah, she knew that Pizzapants were coming over to stay as well. Wait, when is Pizzapants coming over? It's going to be like midnight. It's directly to the, you know, sleepover with the bro. Apparently wine coolers are disgusting, in Remnant's opinion. You've never been to a wine cellar? Well, it's not literally a thing that cools wine. A cooler is a type of drink. I'm just wondering, like, what exactly do you do to wine to make it into a cooler? I have a whole cask of wine coolers in my basement. Just follow me. Fuck off. Wait. No, he's not Fortuno. I don't know the guys. I'm Fortuno in this metaphor. Whatever. Fortified wine? You mean like it's sherry or something? It's getting more mysterious by the second. After sobering up a bit, Pizzapants, along with Asriel, bid their friends farewell as they entered the car. Like a true scout, Asriel only had a sip of Strawberry Mad Dog 50/50 just to be nice, so he was clear to drive. I don't even get what that reference there. That's not Fireball. Pizzapants couldn't help but finish the small bottle of 99 bananas just before getting in the car. Too many liquor references going over my head. I feel exposed for not going to enough parties, I guess. They got to the house just after 10 minutes, entering the lightly lit living room with Asriel's house key. A moppy-headed kid, the human variant, was sitting on the couch, reading a book on great monster pianists of the 1890s. Yeah, Frédéric Chopin, but goat though. I remember that guy. Or 1890s, is that more like Rachmaninoff and Debussy maybe? Or was Rachmaninoff later? At least Debussy is in there. Chris's red eyes glowed as their brother entered the room. They almost went in for a hug until they saw Pizzapants, a relatively known face to them. They knew he was a friend of Asriel, so they had a cautious but accepting respect for the tabby. That's don't call Pizzapants a tabby to his face, it won't go well. Chris greeted the two of them as the two began to head toward the room, just after Chris pulled a hand buzzer prank on Pizzapants by trying to shake his hand with a joy buzzer. Get wrecked, Pizzapants. Debussy, says Outson. Yep, that's the one. Oh, Strawberry Mad Dog is a wine cooler. I have to look this up now. I'm really curious. Because what's the other 50? There's a Wikipedia, it brings up a Wikipedia page for flavored fortified wine. What on earth? This is like a completely new concept to me. Informally known as bum wines or bum vino are inexpensive fortified wines that typically have alcohol between 13 and 20% by volume. So they're like get you drunk wines. With added sugar, artificial flavor, artificial color. So you take wines, you make it strong as fuck, and you put in a bunch of bullshit additives, and you give it to high schoolers. Got it. Understood. It sounds horrific. BT Holmes, I once pronounced Debussy's name, or rather Debussy's name wrong in a music class, and the music teacher was so disappointed in me. Unfortunate. It's my fear was always mixing up John Cage for Nick Cage. It never happened, but I was always so worried about it. you know, famous 21st century avant-garde musician Nicolas Cage. Or David Cage, God help me. Usually when friends are over, Chris prefers to be alone. They also had agreed to sleep on the couch that night once everything was over. Oh, so Asriel and Pizzapants don't have to share a bed? Bummer. The manliness of best bro activities, the manliest of best bro activities, that is, were held in the Dreamer bedroom. Video games, movies, planned project games, planned teachers and courses to take, the idiocy of coworkers, and how hot someone's sister is, was the variety of riveting discussions that carried on as the clock struck midnight. Wait, does Pizzapants have it? That sort of implies that Pizzapants has a sister and Asriel thinks that she's hot. That's interesting lore. When the David Cage Indigo Prophecy streams. I don't know if I can take any fucking Dave Cage games out, Sin. I don't know if I'm into that. Oh, Chris is just sleeping on the couch because Asriel and Pizzapants are really sharing that bed really hard. Yeah, okay, I take your meaning. I would also be sleeping on the couch in that case, that's true. At one point, they were sitting on the west side of the room on the bed, laughing at a joke that they quickly forgot afterward. The joke somehow set off a chain of mental events in Pizzapants' head. Suddenly he wondered, "How did I get here? This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful house," to himself. He and Asriel had been good friends for a while. Even though their personalities were like that of water and oil, they both saw things from a perspective that not many do see. They both knew that sometimes you just have to have fun, no matter what, regardless of what others might think. Methods were different, however. Asriel made sure to hide the fact that Pizzapants had a bad influence on him from his mom. Pizzapants just didn't give a rat's ass. Well, actually he did. He just didn't know. A sudden cloud floated over him. "It's so weird that someone like me hangs out with you," sighed Pants. "What do you mean?" asked Asriel. "You're so much more successful than me. Look at yourself. You're going to the best college in the area. I know you don't exactly know what you're going to major in, but I know what I want to study and I'm stuck at I see an eyesore pizza galore paradise." "It's more like the second best," politely interjected Asriel. Pizzapants made a face. Asriel apologized, saying, "Sorry, go on, dude." Asriel, I think. "I really want to be an actor, dude. Plays, college, movies, B-movie flicks. I don't matter." Is this Pizzapants? Oh no, Asriel said go on, dude. I got mixed up, sorry. I really want to be an actor, dude. Plays, college, movies, B-movie flicks. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna sound cheesy, dude, but I want to be a star. I want to be more than who I am now and forever. Pizzapants continued. Asriel felt the same mood cloud hover over him as well and knew it was time to, at least, be a good friend. I just don't know where to start," concluded Pants. "Well, you could ask me for some help in finding a good school. I know funding for college can be just as much trouble as finding one, but I'm sure my mom knows a thing or two." Asriel looked down for a quick moment. "Just don't ask my dad. But hey, you could borrow my ACT and SAT test books. You're still young." What'll happen if you ask his dad? "I'm in my 20s. Life's already passed me by, buddy." Pants frowned. "I'm afraid. I don't want to die like this." "Just let me die anywhere else. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba." The cloud over him began to rain. A couple droplets fell on his face. Asriel wasn't expecting this at all. The whole mood so far had been amazing, a graduation worth experiencing. It's kind of a sick metaphor, actually, or whatever you'd call that. I'm into it. He did know that Pants talked like this sometimes, but it was with a sarcastic bent and an aura of being above the situation one was bestowed upon. However, he didn't feel like his day was ruined at all. In fact, at this moment he was relieved. He had worried about Pizzapants, hoping he wasn't too far gone from realizing the need for a call to action. He was proud that his buddy was telling him this. Do they have SATs and ACTs in Canada? I don't think so. It's weird to not like immediately know. Like SAT is such a common concept that I almost like I've retconned it into my memory, but I think we have different tests. They might just be called provincial exams here, actually. Pizzapants quickly cleared his face and choked up his sobs before it got worse, just before Asriel embraced him. A hard embrace. He was startled. Dude, Pizzapants said until he wrapped his arms around his back. After a few moments, Asriel pulled away a bit to face him. You won't die like this, trust me. What are ACTs? It's a thing that you do in Undertale when you don't want to fight enemies, I think. They're called PATs in Canada. See, I also don't know the term PAT is the problem. I only ever knew them as provincial exams. Like in grade 12, you study, then you'd take your big scary provincial English exam or whatever. And that was like the big standardized test. So maybe that was the PAT. Yeah. With a flush of red on the face, Pizzapants smiled. Without thinking and acting on pure faith and trust, he dropped the bomb. I love you, dude. Suddenly, Asriel leaned in for a kiss. He felt the same. I love you too, replied Asriel. Nothing more was needed to be said. They will always be besties, and they will always have each other's backs. A few seconds passed, and they simply held each other while resting their heads on each other. The door was ajar as they embraced. A faint red glow could be seen through the small opening. It was an eyeball, and it was Chris's. I love how it's just Chris's eyes are not even red, they're like glowing at all times. Like the laser eye crab meme. It's a really funny thought. Ooh, there's Pickles, joined at a good time. You sure did. They're getting hot and heavy in here. Except not really, they're just sort of lightly, they're not even kissing actually, it's really PG. Super PG. No gay sex at all, for sure. They closed the door quietly and turned to face the wall. Minutes pass, hours pass. They just stood there, silently. What was read during this evening's reading session was wiped clean from their memory. One couldn't be sure if they wanted what they witnessed to be wiped clean as well. At the very least, they knew the brother was kept in good hands. That was a nice one, Remnant. I enjoyed that one. Played it straight, and it worked out. That was a good one to start with, I think.